All right, everyone, welcome back for another deep dive.
Yeah, excited for this one.
Episode 8 already. Wow.
Time flies.
It really
But
does.
I'm having fun.
So today we're going to be taking a look at the Hustling in Your 20s episode.
From Work and Play Podcast Unlocked.
Yep. And we'll be breaking it down, looking at how the episode was structured.
Seeing what kind of engagement it got.
And pulling out some of those key takeaways.
For other podcasters.
Or really just anyone who loves a good story.
Definitely.
I think this one's going to be really relatable to a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure.
The gift Aqueelah has had quite a journey.
Yeah, she has.
Corporate layoffs.
Real estate ventures.
And even
little foray into Airbnb.
So really interesting stuff.
Yeah, I was hooked from the very beginning when she started talking about losing her corporate job.
Yeah.
It really made me think about, all those times that it feels like a door closes in your life.
Right.
But then you discover this whole new path.
Absolutely.
And it's a path that you never
could have even imagined. Right. Exactly.
Yeah, sometimes those detours, they end up being the best thing that ever happened to you.
Exactly. And you never know what's waiting around the corner.
Right.
But what I really loved about Aqueelah's story is how open she was.
Yes.
About the ups and the downs.
About the good and the bad.
She didn't shy away from the challenges at all.
It makes her so relatable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially for anyone who's maybe considering that leap into entrepreneurship themselves.
Right, because it's not all sunshine and roses.
Exactly.
Like, remember when she was talking about those 48 conditions on her first condo purchase? I mean,
that's
talk about a trial by fire.
Right.
But, instead of going into every single detail about all 48 of those conditions, I think it would have been even more powerful if she'd focused on, the emotional takeaway.
Right.
Like, how did those hurdles actually shape her approach to real estate going forward?
I think that's what people really connect with.
Exactly. It's those human moments that make a story really resonate.
Definitely.
It reminded me of that story she told about the security guard at U.S. Cellular.
Oh, yeah.
It was a pretty long anecdote.
It was.
And while it did show her persistence,
it did.
I think a more concise approach might have been even more impactful.
I agree.
It's like sometimes less is more,
For sure.
It makes you think about how we can all trim the excess from our own stories.
Right.
And really highlight the essence of what we've learned.
Exactly.
Another thing I noticed about the episode was the timeline kind of jumped around a bit. Like it went from the condo purchase back to her leaving her corporate job. And then forward again.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
And while it's all part of her journey, I think a more chronological flow would have made it easier to follow.
Definitely.
And I think it would have helped build that anticipation even more.
It's like when you're reading a book
Yeah.
and the chapters are all over the place.
Right.
It can be hard to stay engaged. A clear timeline helps keep the listener hooked.
Absolutely. And speaking of engagement, I thought the host did a really great job of creating a comfortable atmosphere.
Oh, yeah.
With his genuine enthusiasm and well-placed questions.
It felt like I was listening to two friends chat.
Mm-hmm.
Really brought out the best in Aqueelah's story.
Yeah, I agree.
That conversational style is so key.
It makes the listener feel like they're right there in the room with you.
Exactly, like you're all just hanging out having a cup of coffee.
But there was one thing that left me wanting a little bit more.
Oh.
She briefly mentioned her spiritual practice.
Oh, right.
And I was like, wait, tell me more about that.
Yeah.
It felt like a missed opportunity to really dive into how that aspect of her life might have influenced her resilience and her decision-making.
Absolutely. I think exploring that theme further would have added so much depth and insight for the listeners.
Yeah, it really makes you wonder what seemingly insignificant experiences in our own lives
have actually played a huge role in shaping our path.
Right.
It's a great question.
So for all you podcasters out there,
or storytellers in general,
here are a few key takeaways
from this deep dive.
Number 1, a detailed outline is crucial.
It's like your roadmap.
It's going to help you avoid those chronological jumps.
And make sure you hit all the key points.
Number 2, remember that concise storytelling is key.
Encourage your guests to focus on the essence of their experiences.
And the lessons they've learned.
Help them share the most impactful parts of their story.
Without getting bogged down in unnecessary details.
Right.
And finally, number 3, don't be afraid to explore those intriguing themes that come up.
Ask those probing questions.
You never know what unexpected insights you might uncover.
And those insights are what's going to resonate with your listeners.
Aqueelah's story is a great reminder that the path to success is rarely linear.
It's the twists and turns.
The challenges.
And the triumphs that shape us.
And who we are.
Exactly.
And that's a wrap on another deep dive.
See you next time.